We don't have time for introductions today. Usually you would have a long-winded introduction when it comes to a video, and then a magician is shilling something that he's trying to sell. In this case, I might shill the Pigcake Magic Academy, where $5 a month gets you 2 new videos every single week, access to over 200 videos already, going over beginner all the way to expert level stuff. But not today. Not today. We're just going to go straight into the actual tutorial today. So I'm not going to go into some sort of crazy and long-winded rant on how, cardistry is for losers, and people that do cardistry are losers and they're introverts, and they really don't have any place in the planet. But no, today we're going to go straight into the actual tutorial itself. And we're using the Bin Wangs, the Bin Wang gang. Okay, we're just going to show the actual move itself. This is a one-handed false cut that, it's kind of difficult to do, to be honest. But once you have the mechanics down, it's a very nice little bit of a fancy one-handed false cut that you could do anytime, anywhere to show your virginity. And if you want, you could even do a little bit of a triangle meme. You see that? You could do a little bit of a triangle meme just to show off the ladies that you really mean business. So we're going to go over that, and we're going to go over the actual just basic little bit of a cut there. So you're going to be able to learn that and perform it for your friends and family, just like a doctor would touch his patient. So let's get into the tutorial right now. We're here. We're going to show you how it's done. So this is basically predicated on one move, which is the first move of the one-handed shuffle. Now, the one-handed shuffle, if you haven't seen that particular tutorial, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. But you are going to separate this packet, or this deck rather, with your forefinger. You see this? A little bit of a separation right there, just like me and my father. It's a little bit of a separated meme, although if it was more representative of me and my father, this would be like so anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to hold the deck in this position. Notice that it's a little bit of a higher grip than normal. My thumb is on the left side, my fingers, all the rest of them are on the right side, and my forefinger is going to come and split off this packet in approximately half. So that is the first step. The next step is a little bit of a doozy, because we're going to bring our pinky to the bottom here. The reason for that is because we want to make sure that the packet doesn't fall through. If the packet falls through, then guess what? You're not going to have a fun time there, because you're going to pick cards off the floor and people are going to laugh at you. The next step here after the separation is going to be to let go of this packet. So notice that you're grabbing this bottom packet with your thumb and your forefinger now, and you're essentially going to let this packet go up and over this original packet. So that's going to be the next step here. We're going to grab this packet. It's being held by the thumb and the forefinger. We're going to balance this packet on the tip of the forefinger here. This is going to take a little bit of practice, because the inclination is going to be not to let go of the packet, because you're going to fear this packet just falling off of the ground like it's some sort of Vietnamese child being thrown off a building for not completing his morning task. But in this point, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this packet up and over this initial packet here, leaving us in this Charlier position. So this is going to take, again, a lot of practice to do, because we're holding this packet separate from this packet. And this packet right now, there's nothing holding it apart from gravity against this forefinger over here. So you're going to have to practice this a little bit and letting go of this packet over here so that it's loose. A little bit of a tip is you want to angle your hand down so that this packet, take a shot every time I say packet in this video, by the way, but you want to make sure that this particular section of the deck is down with gravity. So we're going to bring this up and over to this Charlier position. Now at this point, all we're going to do a simple Charlier cut by using our forefinger to press up. So now we're in this position, and we're going to actually do the exact same thing again. We're going to use our forefinger to separate this current packet over here. Take a shot. Now what you're going to do is essentially the same exact action. We're going to separate both of these packets in the exact same thing. The only difference is that this time we have a little bit of a helper here. We have a little bit of I would say obstruction, actually, because this is going to make it harder to do than the first one, because we're going to do the exact same cut as before. The only difference is that we're adding. So we're going to repeat the same action as before. And this time, if you notice, when you coalesce the cards, you're gonna have a little bit of a pyramid. You're gonna have a little bit of a triangle meme. So this is the place where you would insert your member or your Illuminati references. If you're a teenager who's never seen a vagina, this is where you would insert it. So let's go over that one more time here. We're separating the cards. We're letting gravity do a little bit of a bit here. Gravity's doing a little bit of a show. We're bringing this packet up and over, this initial packet, doing a Charlier cut, just simply lifting up our forefinger and allowing this packet to make its way up. Then we're going to do the exact same thing as before. Only difference is that now we have a fat obstruction here. We have a little bit of a fat packet that's blocking our way of doing this easily. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to lift this up and over and bring it back to the exact same position as before. Only difference is that now we have a little bit of a pyramid here that we could show to the spectators and say, look, it stands for V. It's a V for virgin, for virginity. I'm preserving my virginity and showing you this cut. And hopefully this is going to complete the ritual so that I never see a vagina ever again. So that's a little bit of a patter point. You should insert patter into Cardistry if you're going to do it in front of people. So that's a nice little bit if you want to do that. You could talk about the power of the V there. So the last bit of the shuffle is that we're going to use our forefinger to press up on this bottom packet and complete the actual Charlier shuffle. And if you notice, guess what? That leaves the packet face up. That leaves the deck in the same order as it began. So if we do the exact same shuffle, you notice that this leaves the deck in the exact same order. Ace of spades on the bottom and ace of hearts on top. If you want to add a little bit of a revolution cut at the end because that's your prerogative, well, guess what? You could add a little bit of a revolution cut at the end because that's your prerogative. Personally, I would not, because that's a whole nother level of virginity that you really don't want to display to the spectators, especially if you talk about the power of the V. But that's going to be up to you, really, because you're your own performer, and whatever you want to do is going to be what you're going to do, regardless of what I say. So that's a nice little bit of a shuffle, of a cut. It's a nice bit. You could do this, as a fidget move. You could be at church, and your right hand is busy, but your left hand is active doing this particular cut and mix. And you could do this at the IRS office when they're auditing you, because inevitably as a magician you have poor financial decisions and therefore you're more likely to be audited by the IRS. So you could do that while you're waiting. You could do that while you're waiting. You could do that while you adjust the angle of your camera shot so that your tripod isn't in the shot, right? You could do that. You could do that a little bit. That's a better way of doing it while you're doing this particular shuffle. You could even just cut it in half. There's another little popular false shuffle that you cut this in half over here. Bring this up and over and just do a simple Charlier shuffle. And it's a nice little bit of a false cut. And you don't have to go through the rigor mortis of doing this pyramid action here. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's a fun little bit of a cut. I know I've gotten some requests to show that, but you guys now know it. Again, we didn't do any sort of weird introduction. All right, we just went wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, into the actual tutorial itself. There's no into it. There's no condom on. Raw dog magic. Only on Pigcake's channel. Raw dog. We're going in there, no lubrication. No KY. If there was a little bit of KY, it wouldn't be fun because there's less friction. We're here, no friction. We're using sandpaper. So that's the video. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys performed that. Make sure to do all the things that people do. Do all the things that people do in videos. And I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go figure out different ways to pull here for 2 packs.